Michael Costa, we're here at your beautiful stables. It really is quite an oasis in the middle of Dubai. It's your third season now, so is it starting to feel like home yet?
It did straight away. There was obviously we had to settle in and very busy when we arrived, but when you look around, this is the closest thing to being in Australia, in Dubai. You know, you think about the desert and the city, but we've got this 600-acre block which is extremely green, right in the heart of the city, so it's we're very lucky.
So your first season, now you had the 14 winners from 93 starts. Last season, 23-24, 36 winners for a 24% strike rate. This season, you're leading the championship. How do you feel personally? How are you tracking?
Look, we're tracking well. The goal for this season was to win more of the group races on the bigger nights, and we've achieved that with some really good group winners this season, which has been great. We're still a stable which is rebuilding. It's definitely nowhere near the finished product. We had to completely start again, buying yearlings. Our yearlings that we first purchased was only a small portion, 10 yearlings, relatively cheap market values, and they've just turned 4, so we're a very young stable, and the best is yet to come. So it's great to see, you know, we're competing on the big nights, beating the bigger stables and being competitive, which is what it's all about.
Because last year you did only finish behind by one win, so did that make you hungrier getting that close to the championship so early on?
Yeah, it was pretty, it was a little bit frustrating. We had half the amount of runners as the biggest stable, so statistically it was a strong season. But now we had a little bit of a sniff of it. It's definitely something we want to tick off. We don't have as big a numbers as the other stables, but you know, we're packing a punch, and I think you know, if it doesn't happen this year, we'll make it happen in the years to come.
How many horses do you have?
Currently we've got 60 in work. We've started roughly off the season with about 75. So we've got we get some form horses which just need an extra season to settle in before we can sort of get on with it. So yeah, roughly about 60 in work.
And how many staff do you have here?
We've got the luxury of having 14 riders, which is great compared to back home in Australia. We're sort of limited riders riding more horses. This way we can do it in sort of longer bands, and we've got about 25 grooms as well. So it's we've got a good staff band, got a great work ethic, and really good workers. So it's been one of the probably the biggest contrasts to Australia. We had great staff, but we just didn't have access to the big staffing problem in trying to get staff to come in. So it's one of the things which we can more focus on training the horses the way we want, because we've got access to the staff to achieve the things we want to achieve.
Just on how you are leading the championship, you basically led from the start of the season. Is that daunting, or are you enjoying that?
It's not daunting. You'd rather be there than not be there. I'm not sure if it puts a target on your back, but there's probably an added pressure to continue. But you know, we just got to turn the horses out the best way we can, and the results just take care of themselves. And if we're there at the end of the season, it'd be a great achievement for everyone.
Yeah. And so, Michael, you got to leg up the world's best the other night. James McDonald, had he ever ridden for you back home?
He had. He was 1 from 1. He rode a winner for me at Warwick Farm, and so it was good that he kicked off. He had 3 rides, and he won 2 of the 3, which was, and he rode them to a treat, and that's why he's the world's best. So definitely the one in the last Cafaf was the ride that won the race, and he's a great bloke to go with his riding ability.
Yeah, not too bad. Reuniting in Dubai, pretty cool. And tell me a little bit, maybe, is there a reunion for Jimmy Orman? Is he going to come over again?
I think he will. Definitely at the start of the season we need him, but potentially at the end of the season, sometimes our retained riders here have to head back to the UK and Ireland to fulfil their commitments. So Jimmy's definitely put his hand up to come back. He loves it here. He gets the most out of coming here. He's done a phenomenal job riding for us as well.
Now, from a facilities perspective, you gave me the grand tour last time, and I was in awe of it. Do you put a lot of, you know, the fact that you've got the swimming pool, you've got the treadmills, you've got the spa, you've got some beautiful grass pens out there as well. Do you put those nice facilities down to getting some of the success? Is it all part and parcel, do you think?
It definitely helps. Like the the beauty of having good riders. There's no substitute for that. Our track here is so great, so it just minimises all the risk of injury, which is the main key. And then having the beautiful facility, I think the horses feel that as well. They're happy horses. It's a great environment, so it all adds up. All the 1%ers add up to the sort of the finished product on race day.
And just to keep their mind sort of active instead of getting bored, you've actually got an arena that you put them over some jumps or put them over some poles, is that right?
Yeah. So our model's really doing something different with them every day. We don't have the luxury of turning horses out to for spells in the paddock, so we've got to utilise what we've got in the space. So it's just about keeping the minds active, ticking them over, and utilising jumping poles, the turnout yards, swimming pools, utilising the tracks in different directions. So it's good to have your own facility. You can sort of do whatever you want, which is great. Great to keep the horses mentally sharp.
And that's true, because you do have exclusive use of this place. I know some people come and they trial on the track, I assume after you're finished for the morning. So just how different is that for you, exclusively training for His Highness, as opposed to back in Australia where you probably have to share facilities a lot more?
Yeah, well, the thing with back home in Australia, there's access to turf. There'd be limited access, or you could only use it on certain days if you're nominated. Here we can, if we have something that doesn't quite go right, we can make up the gallop the next day. There's no hurdles like that. So that's a great thing. And if we're not quite happy with the track, we've got a track management team which will adjust it to exactly how we want it. So they're all things that we're very grateful to have and are very helpful.
So what does a typical day look like for Michael Costa?
Typical day is a little bit different to back home, but we first lot heads out about 5:30, so we've get much more of a sleep in till back home in Australia. So just a normal work day, which is great. We'll finish track work anywhere between 8:30, 9 o'clock, and this is in racing season. Summer's a whole different sort of kettle of fish, because we're managing the heat and getting in and out of the heat. And then we'll tidy up any office work, back into the stables in the afternoon, and that's basically a day. So we speak to the management, but we don't have the pressures of all the owners' communication, because we've got one owner which we're very lucky to have. We still have a little bit of the finance stuff in managing the stable. I could treat the stable as if it was my own stable back home in Australia, where we can minimise costs, make things more efficient, but definitely not the accounting side of chasing accounts and invoicing thousands of owners. So there's much more of a focus on just training the horse rather than the many hats that trainers have to wear back home in Australia.
How about horses to watch going forward? Who do we need to be keeping an eye on, and do you hope to have some runners on the biggest night?
Yeah, we do. Mestry's still a horse that I think worth watching on the big night. He wasn't put up a little bit stiff from last Friday night, but he's a classy horse. Go to the Godolphin Mile. Kafaf's been a revelation for the stable. He's done a great job on the turf races. Potentially go to the Gold Cup over 2 mile, which is good. Marban's been great. Most likely the head to Saudi or the Athletic Ford on Super Saturday, and I think Maryatel will bounce back. He just had a little bit of just choked down a little bit on the night, so I'll be looking for him for Super Saturday and also World Cup night in the sprint.
Brilliant. Well, can't wait to see it all unfold the rest of the season. Halfway through already, and doing a great job. Thank you for letting me come here again as well. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks.